What's up, everybody? This is Chris Surratt bringing you another edition of the Car Concierge Show, the show that helps with the buying, selling, maintaining, and repairing of your vehicle. On today's show, we're going to talk about how some states are using your cell phone data to check if you're speeding or not. And after that, we're going to check out a quick story on how if you are a brand new F-150 owner, you need to take that vehicle straight to the dealership and just drop it off at their feet because there's a major recall that could cause major problems for you. And last but not least, we're going to talk about a major UFC superstar who got into a little trouble, and he's allegedly threatened some police officers after he allegedly got into a hit and run accident. Let's jump straight into it. We're going to head over to Washington State. Now, we know that they have been accessing all our cellular data for a long time. I know I'm not the only person who notices that when I look something up on my phone, then maybe 10 minutes later, whatever I looked up on my phone is showing a commercial for it on my TV. Y'all ever seen that? Y'all ever had that feeling where you were just thinking about something, then all of a sudden it popped up on your phone? Well, they've been accessing our cell phone data for a long time. And mostly they use it for marketing, to try to sell us stuff. But lately, some states have decided that they're going to use our cell phone data to catch us speeding. And it's going to become a problem for a lot of people. Let's check it out.
Washington State troopers are now using data from cell phone apps to help crack down on speeding. The state bought data from navigation apps like Google Maps and Waze, and they're using the data to find spots where people speed most often.
State bought data. That's where I'm going to stop first. State bought data. Now, mind you, they're not just buying your driving tactics, because that's not what the information Stanley is giving to you. It's all your information. If you have a Wave account, all of your information is in that Wave account, everything that you use to sign up, and even more so if you decide to get like Wave Pro or whatever they offer, you probably put your credit card information in there too. Let's keep going.
Often. For the next 6 weeks, they'll be focusing on those spots. Here in town, it's the area from US 2 and I-90 to Spokane Valley. Over on the west side, they'll be focusing on I-5 from JBLM North to Auburn and I-5 around Everett as well. Just to be clear, WSP is not using any personal information with this.
They don't collect it like to look at a driver. They're collecting it to really build this huge database of information that comes directly real time.
And what will they use that database for? What they're going to use it for is to build a profile about you, about your speeding habits, about everything about you. And that's the thing about, your personal information that you have on your phones and the apps that you use and all the information and the permissions that you give out to them so that they can, do certain things. Because a lot of people don't pay a lot of attention when there's signing up for these apps or downloading these apps into their systems. We have to pay attention to the fact that they're, gonna have us check off some boxes. They're gonna ask us to allow this and allow that, send this notification, gather this information, go into your phone numbers, into your photos, and all this other information. And they're downloading this information, all of it. All of it. They're not just giving them a little bit. They're giving all the information that Wave has, that any of these Google Map systems have. They're giving away and they're selling it to these companies, and they're either giving it to or selling it to the state to the point where they're going to be able to tell you if when you're talking on your phone, when you're driving, how fast you're going. So they're going to start writing you tickets without even seeing you doing anything wrong. Let's keep going. Ooh, this is a crazy accident right there, though.
Traffic Safety Commission says Washington is one of the first states to use cell phone data like this.
But not the last. All right, guys. So what do we learn from this? We understand that, states and governments and even other companies are using these apps as just ways to get lots and lots of information about you, about your habits, about where you are, what you're doing, who you're talking to, how you're driving, and how fast you're driving. It's only going to continue. It's definitely one of those Skynet things that we have to understand that is evolving in real time. We're getting to a point where they're just going to be able to tell us exactly what we're doing, who we are, how we act, where we drive, who we talk to, what we buy. And it's all for sale. Everybody has access to it. Everybody gets it. And now our own government entities are going to use it against us. So get prepared. Washington State is the first, but they definitely will not be the last. All right, guys, let's keep going. This is a more serious thing. Well, depending on how you look at it. But this, for me, is a more serious thing. I am a big Ford guy. I got my first start at a Ford dealership, selling cars and working on cars and things like that. One of my favorite vehicles was my Ford Contour. Threw some NOS in that baby. Used to race it. It was a fantastic car. So I'm a big Ford fan. But Ford, just like most of these automakers, they just are not doing that full-on research and development that I always talk about on their vehicles. So the recalls are coming out. And mind you, recalls are always going to come out. There's always going to be recalls on these vehicles. They're always going to find that there's a consistent problem with these vehicles, even if they were doing the full-on research and development that I talk about. But stuff like this recall should not happen. And I think personally that is probably based on a more of a problem with robotic installation on these vehicles than personal people installation on these vehicles. Let's check it out.
Ford is warning 2025 Super Duty owners not to drive their pickups. They might have a brake pedal assembly that lacks a retaining spring that's designed to secure the brake booster pushrod to the brake pedal.
All right, let's stop right there. So what they said was that it lacks the spring. So what they're saying is that this part that this vehicle needs for your braking system to work correctly is missing completely. Somehow, some way, in the process of building this vehicle, some entity did not put these springs or clips or whatever the part may be specifically into this vehicle to the point where it could cause your vehicle's braking system to not work correctly. Now, in my mind, I would think that, that would be more of a instantaneous line situation by robotics. They put this, whatever this thing is, in there. And of course, the only way that all of these vehicles got out to dealerships and out to customers without somebody noticing this is no real research and development and no quality control when it came down to checking these parts before they left the factory. Let's keep going so we can learn about this recall in full.
Which can result in the loss of braking power. The recall affects just 2,300.
Y'all see that? Hold on, let me back that up though. This is probably AI, but look at what. See, and we were just talking about this. Now, it's probably not true, but what are the odds that my systems in there know who I am and the color of my skin, and they change this person to look like that just because of me? It's possible, I'm telling you. Let's keep going.
Recall affects just 2,345 2025 Ford Super Duty trucks, ranging from the F-150 to the F-150. The automaker began investigating the problem in late May after team members at the Kentucky truck plant notified Ford's Critical Concern Review Group of a missing brake pedal retaining spring on a 2025 F-350. After that, Ford's...
So it took real eyes. It took real eyes to establish that these parts were missing. Real eyes, and to real eyes to establish that this part was missing, and then to inform them that the problem existed. See, and that's what I'm talking about. I think that, technology is fantastic, but I really think that this is going to continue to be a problem that we see when it comes to robotics and factories, and robotics when it comes to building these vehicles, because robotics is just going to do what they do. They're going to just, put in the part wherever its computer is told to do it. It's not going to check and make sure everything's technically right. It's not going to make sure that it's not tilted or anything like that. It's just going to do what it do. It's just going to slap the spring into place, keep moving. Slap the spring into place, keep moving. And you really have to have real eyes on these type of situations to try to, avoid these situations. You can't avoid them altogether completely. That's impossible. But once these vehicles are built, and that's pretty much what happened. Once these vehicles are built, and probably prior to them getting out to the street, these people should have looked at it. But obviously, they looked at them at a later time, realized that some of the ones that they were looking at didn't have the parts they were talking about, and they just informed them. And then they checked more cars, saw that they didn't have this particular part, like, oh man, this is a problem at the factory. It's probably a lot of cars that got this problem. So, recall initiated. Let's keep going.
CCRG reviewed a May 5th report of a service technician having no braking force during a pre-delivery inspection of a Super Duty, with the brake pedal swinging freely according to the safety recall report. Ford then received a warranty report in early June of another F-350 with a missing spring that a tech found during its inspection. The CCRG, through its investigation, learned that an operator new to the job and still in training had built both trucks with the missing retaining spring. It also found that the camera system designed to monitor production was down during certain periods, so Ford is also recalling those vehicles without sufficient visual evidence that they were correctly built.
I don't know about that. That sounds like a cop-out. Trying to blame this one cat, but they're only talking about 2 vehicles he built. This recall is upwards of 2,000, 2,500 trucks. So they trying to throw some fluff at us to keep us cool, but we know what the deal is.
Ford says it has already begun notifying affected owners. The automaker says it'll instruct them to work with their dealer to complete the inspection, as the automaker does not want owners driving their vehicles.
Nah, bro. Just jump in your brand new F-150. You drive that thing straight down to your nearest Ford dealership. You drop it off right in front of their door and say, hey, I don't want my brakes going out when me and my kids is in this thing. Give me a loan until you get it fixed, or trade out this lemon. Because this is a problem. If you were talking about, we're talking about braking issues. Now, recalls could run the gamut on what kind of recall it is. But we're talking about, in this situation, a recall, a problem that could be causing you not to be able to brake. And you know how important that is. That's almost the most important aspect of these vehicles, is your ability to stop. So the fact that, and they've already put it out. They've already said that this is a do not drive situation. If you have this vehicle, do not drive it. Call your local dealership. And I'm saying just drop it off. I mean, if you got a hoopty that you can drive till they can get it fixed, cool. You want to call them and make sure they have a loaner vehicle for you to drive until you get it back. Whatever you need to do, you need to get this fixed. So I implore all you brand new F-150 owners to not check your vehicle. There's no need to check your vehicle. Call the dealership. Say, hey, I got this F-150. I think it's part of this recall. I'm about to drop it off to y'all because y'all said I can't drive it. And if it's your only vehicle, call them and set up that loaner vehicle and drop it off, because this is not a situation. This is not one of them recalls that we can let people not understand how important it is and make sure they do the right thing to get you fixed up so you don't have any problems driving down the road. All right, guys, last but not least, we're going to dive into the world of the UFC, and it's still car related because we're going to be talking about a hit and run situation with a very prominent UFC superstar, and that would be Jon Jones. Now, mind you, I am a big UFC guy. I tried to start a UFC channel for a long time, but they be tripping about using their videos and your videos on YouTube, so I had to cut that out. You know, and I'm a big fan of Daniel Cormier. He lived like an hour away from me over here in California. Nate Diaz. I'm just a really big UFC fighter. UFC fight lover. I trained a little bit of UFC, got a couple of family members that fought UFC, so I'm a big fan of the UFC. I want to let you know up front, that's why I have no problem showing you this content. Not a big fan of Jon Bones Jones. He's not one of my favorite fighters, to say the least. Of course, like I said, I'm a Daniel Cormier fan, and I'm not a fan of the way Bones fights. You know, I'm not. That heel kick could really mess up somebody's leg. I think he does poke at the eyes sometimes. So, you know, I don't want to sit here and throw major disparities at his fighting career. But, you know, he's just not one of my favorite UFC fighters. But when it comes to his personal life, man, oh boy, either is having lots of fun or just getting in lots of trouble. So, what we're going to be looking at here is his alleged incident where he allegedly got into a hit and run accident with a young lady in the car, and then he allegedly threatened to kill the officers that had pulled up to the incident and to pretty much just help out the young lady. So, let's check it out. Now, mind you, we're going to check out the first beginning part of it when they first come in. We're going to identify the vehicle like we always do. Then we're going to shoot forward to when the young lady gives Jon Bones Jones a call and everything starts to happen. Let's check it out.
Only her friend.
Southeast 10.
Hello, sir. Are you driving?
No.
We got a Toyota.
My girlfriend was following me home,
Prius.
and I saw apparently her friend.
And where's your friend right now?
This is my vehicle.
It's your vehicle, but where's your friend right now?
Toyota Prius?
The driver ran her red. You ran.
Where does he go?
I don't know. He left. He ran.
All right, so first she said that Jon Bones Jones ran. And mind you, still allegedly. We don't know if he was there. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep going.
I know, police. Please.
Is it okay if I go back to my girlfriend?
Yeah, it's alright, man. Hey, no problem.
Are you ready for retirement? Our free retirement planner shows you where you stand.
Can you 36 feet?
Yes, 36.
Hey, where'd he go? Where'd he go off running? I have one of the drivers leaving the scene on foot, heading westbound on Lomas.
Chauffeur.
Hey, they're gonna check you out, okay, man?
Unit available to 82 and 17.
She's over.
All right, so first, looks like a four-door Toyota Prius. It looks like. So let's keep going.
Here. Oh, she has no pants.
What was that?
She says she has no pants.
No
She has no
Okay,
pants.
that's fine. Can we ask what's going on?
Getting some while they was driving. That's why.
Mom, everything is okay, okay?
You saw what happened?
Yeah, I saw what happened.
Alright, come over here, man.
I was one who was on the phone.
We'll get off the street. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I see.
Suffer somebody reduction
Statement probably.
Yeah, no problem, man. Can you tell me your name, sir?
Yeah, man.
Shout out to MMA Junkie. We're going to wade through this silence while he gets this information. I don't want to go too far.
See over there with you. Help over there helping him now. But yeah, I sent him, and then he just pulled over there and parked over there, and I came over here and I checked on her.
Okay.
She was hit.
So again, the driver, is it Virgil?
Virgil, yeah, Virgil.
If again, this driver was heading eastbound.
She was heading eastbound, turning northbound. No.
So
he was turning northbound. She was heading southbound. She's headed southbound.
Southbound.
Yeah, he was heading eastbound, going north, turning.
Okay.
And that's when he hit her. He hit her. That's what happened.
He hit her.
Yeah, he hit her. That's what happened. He hit her. She was coming southbound. It spun her around a full circle and sent her back down the block down here. And
Did you see who had the green light?
I didn't get to see who had the green light. Unfortunately, I didn't see that.
Good. Okay.
But I'm pretty sure that he was on the end of a light. I think it was just getting ready to change and he was jumping the light at the end is what it was.
Who was jumping in?
The
other guy?
Yeah, I think pretty sure he had a yellow light. It was getting ready to turn red.
Yeah,
I think that's what happened. I didn't get a full view of everything, but that's what I think happened.
Got you. Think.
Oh, yeah, bless you.
Listen, you got a phone?
All right, so right now we're going to skip ahead to
Yeah, that's
when
my father's number, so he can leave a message for me there.
Thank you.
make sure we ain't reverbing or nothing. So right now we're going to skip ahead to where the young lady makes a phone call to somebody, and allegedly it is Mr. Jon Bones Jones. Let's check it out.
No, what's your name?
I need someone to come get me because the car's totaled, they said.
Check in with operator.
Huh? Are you gonna be able to come get me and help me because are you for fucking real right now?
I think she's on the phone with
It's
Jon
a yes or
Jones
no.
as well. Or
I'm on Lomas and San Mateo. And the fucking car is totaled. It's a yes or no. Are you coming to help me?
As you can see, the airbags have deployed. In a lot of cases, that it does mean that, you know, it could be a total, but of course that is depending on the value of the vehicle. But you never know.
Motherfucker! Please talk to him. Please talk to him.
George 323, callers that
This is a friend that's a friend of mine.
Hello, who am I speaking to?
What's your last name, first name?
Me as PSA Lopez. And who am I speaking to?
Calling from my official cell. On my please. Advise caller to stay inside on the doors. What's your name?
PSA Lopez? With the Albuquerque Police Department?
How many guys you guys set up out there with you?
Don't worry about that, man. Were you the one driving the vehicle?
My brothers detect the dreams systems and the cell phones.
He was the one driving the vehicle.
Oh, she ratted him
They
out.
split throws. They're the most evil people you'll ever meet.
That's Jon Jones.
What?
Jon Jones?
Let's go back.
What's your name?
PSA Lopez? With the Albuquerque Police Department?
How many guys you guys set up out there with you?
Don't worry about that, man. Were you the one driving the vehicle?
My brothers attacked the dreams of the sisters and the cell phones.
He was the one driving the vehicle.
They slip through. They're the most evil people you'll ever meet.
That's Jon Jones.
Jon Jones?
Oh,
He was the one driving the vehicle.
dang, she got in your mouth.
But they don't waste their cases with just killing you or petty crimes. But they definitely listen to conversations like this, and some of them are bored enough to kill you. To kill you.
Give us a threat.
Because they listen. And they teach me to be a man when I wake up.
So, listen to me, man. He's making threats, and if he's making threats, I gotta call an officer out here.
Call him.
Well, guess what, dude? You won't be the first guy this year that I threatened. It's gonna die. You'll be the second one.
Wow.
And who am I speaking to? Are you Jon Jones?
What? If you're untraceable, you'll be surprised how bored we can be. But then you take out if something ever bad happened, just because the shit you said, my brothers, they kill people way less. Something happened to me, dude. She's gladly dead.
He almost. So what's your last name, man? How do you spell last name?
Boy, this is crazy. Now, mind you, he does, whoever's on the other line sounds like they're under the influence. That is definitely for sure.
So, number 10, was he the one gonna
He
pick
was
you
the
up?
one driving.
And what's his name, man?
Jon Jones,
The fighter, or is this different?
the fighter. His birthday is
Wow. Wow. She giving it all up, bro.
Misty for the wrist.
And was he under the influence, man?
Yep.
PS 36 PD? I have 49 regarding the driver of the vehicle. Passenger stating that the subject, his name is Jon Jones, the fighter, and he was under the influence, man.
Just for 301 William, are you talking?
Let's see.
PS36 is advising the driver of the vehicle that fled is Jon Jones, the fighter.
I have the address to his house.
Hey, I'm Excel,
So,
and I'm Excel
I
with
think
data
that's
rails.
it. I'm sorry, it's not funny. Okay, let's get serious. Now, a couple of questions pop into my head throughout that video. First one is, why is Jon Bones Jones driving around in a Toyota Prius? It looked like Prius hatchback at that. Why hasn't he learned from the situations like Shannon Sharp and others like them, and picking these young ladies that's gonna rat you out the minute you bail. You know, let's face it, Mr. Bones Jones has had a very interesting life. He's done very interesting things, and I'm not gonna sit here and say that this is this is particularly a bad thing for him. This is par for the course. All the allegations of cocaine use that he's openly admitted to, and all of the situations that he's gotten into, the multiple arrests. So this is not unusual, you would say, for Mr. Jones. The threatening of the young lady in the cop, that's pretty aggressive stuff, pretty horrible stuff. I don't condone that type of thing, but I will say that, dollars or donuts, that he was under the influence of some kind of narcotic or alcohol at the time when he was speaking on the phone, and probably just got into a car accident as well. So mine was probably a little miscombobulated, but he obviously did what they said he did, and it's still alleged, but me and you both know that that's definitely sounded like Jon Jones, and I'm pretty sure information on the vehicle, or the information that they get from the young lady, is just going to strengthen their case against Mr. Jones. The young man he just gonna do what he do, man, because this is not unusual for him. He is a guy who lives on the edge when it comes to his fighting. When it comes to his life, he's always done this, and he'll come back around and get back into the ring. We're gonna watch him fight some more fights, but right now we understand that I've never considered him that great a guy, specifically because of the dirty fighting that he does. That heel kick, man, I've seen that tear people up. Some of the poking the eyes that he sees. So, but we will say once again, this is just par for the course for Mr. Jon Bones Jones. He's an outlier. He's a risk taker. He enjoys his personal life, and he does what he wants to do. And this is just another case in showing that once you have a certain amount of money and a certain amount of status, you get to do what you want to do. And you may face some kind of repercussion here or there, but it's all in parts of the fun. All right, guys, I'm going to let y'all get up out of here. As always, it's a pleasure. Please keep checking out my show. Hit the like, share, subscribe button. Hit me in the DMs if you have any questions specifically about automotives. And I'm out. Peace.